Welcome to Lift Your Leg. This is Monique Anstey from the Naughty Dog in Victoria, BC. And today I have with me
Maria Carter from Two Peaks Pet Services in Comox Valley, British Columbia.
Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maria, for joining me. We had someone else that was coming on with us to help Maria out, only there were technical issues. So Maria is all on her own. Poor Maria. I have no sympathy. Maria was just recently on my shadow program with me and then also joined. She wanted to learn more about reactive dogs. So then just joined me on my 4-day boot camp. So we've spent a lot of time together in the last 2 weeks, more time than she has with her family.
This is true.
So I want to kind of pick her brain about boot camp, which is a 4-day camp that I do with reactive dogs or dogs that are needing confidence or socialization, that type of thing. But typically it's just reactive dogs. Going back to one of the complaints of Shadow Week is that you guys were seeing me with fairly finished dogs, which is totally true. They were, thank goodness, because I didn't think one of them would ever get there. But now you've just seen me starting with a group of reactive dogs for the most part. And you got to watch kind of their progress from day 1 to day 4. Any thoughts on that now? Because before you never really got to see this. Now you have.
Yeah, it was definitely great to see. It was also great to see the owners with you in that and how you coached them through it. Yeah.
Was it as expected?
Yeah, it is about what I expected. I think the thing with watching you is there's no big showy training, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Everything you do is quiet. It's not the right word. No, you're not.
Subtle?
Yes, subtle. Yep. So I think that's an adjustment too, is like there's no big things happening. You just kind of have to watch for the small things that are happening.
It should be subtle, I think.
Yeah.
My goal with it always is if you go park at the dog park and just watch people get out of their cars, you can see which owners are coming out whose dog is an issue, and you can see the people getting out whose dogs are not an issue. And you can see that long before they let their dog out, just by how they get out of the car.
Totally.
Therefore, if we can see it in the people's body language just by how they get out of their vehicle, maybe if we fix that, we can fix the dog issue. And
Yeah.
that's, I think, a big piece of that's what boot camp is. It's just fixing the people part, so therefore the dog part changes as a result of it.
Totally. And it almost, to me, the funny way to put it, it almost was like a board and train for the people. Like it was,
I love it.
yeah, so immersive for the people, and you were able to just, for 4 days straight, drill all the stuff into them. And it finally, for I think everyone they all had something click in their brains that made huge differences in their dogs.
I agree. I am a huge believer in the immersion part. There's something about being in it for an extended period of time where it's all you focus on and do. You fast get those changes that you wouldn't otherwise get.
Yeah, and I loved how you did a lot of journaling with them too, or you made them do a
Yes.
lot of journaling, which isn't something I expected, but I think it was such a huge piece of the program.
We will come back to journaling because I did write something down here about that.
Perfect.
Odd question for you.
Mm-hmm.
After watching it, if your dog was suitable, would you bring them?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you've just actually answered my next question too. It was about the 4 consecutive days more useful than a weekly class or privates.
Yeah. Yes, because I think when people like have their normal day and then they're just fitting an hour in, they don't have the same time to process it. And also the group was huge. Like it was almost like a support group. Everyone was able to support each other.
Every one of my groups that I've ever done, I'm so lucky. Maybe not group classes, but in my shadow week and my boot camp week, every group is perfect. Like
Yeah.
for the people that are there. And I think this was maybe a favorite group that we had this year. It was so much fun.
It was lovely and fun, and everyone was super open, like letting loose and being silly, which was huge.
And we even had a person buy a house. And,
Yes.
and we guided her through what she should be asking.
And then we all screamed in a parking lot when it went through.
When she put on her first offer, we decided what she should be paying for her house. And then we navigated it beautifully with her first offer and her second offer, and she got to her house for what she wanted.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's pretty impressive. So, people wise, tell me about the change in people's demeanor and dogs' demeanor from start to end.
Yeah, so right away I noticed when everyone came in, everyone was pretty uptight, I'd say, pretty
Yes.
nervous, even in their talking, in their handling of their dogs, before the dogs even came in. Everyone was super tight, super nervous. But by the end, it was like really like a group of best friends with all their dogs, and everyone was super loose and laughing and enjoying their dogs. Everyone was amazed at what their dogs had done over the past 4 days, and that was really cool to see.
It is incredible when you think about where we started and where we ended up,
Yeah,
because we literally do a tour of the wonderful city that we live in,
yep,
and we go to some insane dog obsessed places. And these dogs are just navigating their way through it. It's something they do every single day.
yeah.
And these are reactive dogs that can't normally do this. It's so cool.
Yeah, we ended up going into the market on the last day, and one of the ladies that I was walking with was just amazed that she could stop in a booth and let her dog be beside her and not have to be managing her through it, which is really cool.
Nice. So, going with that, then, were you surprised by how few reactions there actually were? For given that we're going with a group of reactive dogs in very
Yeah,
public places with dogs?
yeah, I would say I probably anticipated more. I think there was less than five, I think,
Yeah,
the whole weekend with
yeah.
however many dogs was there.
We had 10 dogs if we include the one you handled.
Yes. Yeah. So that's pretty amazing considering they're all reactive. But yeah, I definitely anticipated more.
Yeah. And I'm going to say, even the reactive moments that we had was shockingly minor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Like nothing really.
So let's talk about the process of boot camp and the changes in the dogs from the start to end. As in, we started out in my building with them on leash and owners walking around in a circle. Then we had them off leash in my building, going around in a circle. Then
Yep.
off leash on my land. And then we all went to the beach and had most of them off leash, or were they all off leash? I think it was all but one.
Yeah.
All but one were off leash in public at the end of the first day. And then the second day, I have to get my places right in my head now. We went to so many different places. Second day, we started on leash in a residential neighborhood going past dogs. Then we went to on leash in another park, kind of, and practicing going past dogs. Then the third day, we started in an off leash dog park.
Yes.
Then we went to a wonderful market with probably 30 other dogs there, would you say?
Yep.
There was a lot of dogs there.
There was.
So we brought our 10 in, and there were an additional 30. And people had to go shop with their dogs.
Yes.
And then, was that the end of that day, or did we go somewhere else?
Oh,
I know, we went to
remember it's
so many places.
all mashed
Oh,
together
we
now.
did. We did. We went to another off leash dog park.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And that was a very good experience. Maybe not for everyone, but it was a good experience.
Yes.
Then after all of that on leash stuff, they needed a good run. So we took them to another place where they were all off leash, and we let them run and be nutheads. And they were. And they
Yes.
had probably a good hour off leash. Then we did another market, which was a much tighter location. So there wasn't room to spread out. And we almost want to say less trained dogs than the first market we did.
Yeah, they're a bit more all over the place for sure.
And I'm talking about other people's dogs, not ours. So
Yes.
it was a little bit more dicey because our dogs are going into a tighter location where everything's a bit more compressed and there's more people. So you're feeling the stress of people in on you, with dogs that were not nearly as well behaved as the other market we went to. And that was our final location. We did so much with the dogs over the course of the 4 days.
Yeah, they were all very tired by the end.
I said all of that for a reason. So it's strategic in the places that we're taking them from the beginning till the end. Like we get to work on like different skills from each place we're going. So at the beginning, we started off with easy places, maybe not easy, but places where the handlers could work on their base skills. And then we kept refining and improving those base skills until I could stick them into kind of like adrenaline providing moments where they then had to practice those same skills without letting themselves get reactive or adrenalized. That's kind of method to my madness.
Yeah.
And it was literally putting these handlers into the fire of now go be normal. And they had to be. And they did it. Like they all did it. It was unbelievable. Yeah. Were you, like, as an outsider, were you able to see the method to my madness as we went from place to place to place of what I was getting at?
Yeah, absolutely. And I loved how you threw in the off leash in between as well to give the dogs some freedom because we were working a lot on hard things.
Yeah.
And then they got to have that off leash freedom thrown in between too, which was, I think, really big for their mindset.
Yeah. I agree. Of all of the places that we went, where do you think was the hardest location for the dogs?
Oh, ooh, that's a good question. I was handling a dog through this, so I was quite focused on her a lot of the time. So I don't know if it was the same for everyone. I can't remember the location, but the more residential one was quite hard, where we were passing the construction and stuff like that.
Ah, yes.
That one was difficult, I think, just 'cause there's so much going on.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but I would say the most challenging, even though they very much rose to the challenge, was the tight market at the end that we did.
For the handlers of the dogs,
Oh, for the handlers, probably.
I agree.
The dogs did very well,
Yeah.
but I think that was just something that a lot of the people didn't think they'd ever be able to do. So kind of mind blowing to throw them in there, I think.
Yeah. I I thought for the dogs the hardest was the off-leash dog park that we did at the end of the day. So it was when they were tired versus
Yeah.
when they were fresh at the start.
Yeah.
And that was where we saw some handlers really struggle because they
Yeah.
too were tired.
Yeah. Yeah. I was off in my own little group, so I only saw our group during that one, but
Okay.
yeah,
And how did your group do in that one?
really well.
Super.
Great. Yeah.
And then I think probably the hardest for the handlers was the first farmers market
Mm.
because they look at me like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really am. Off you go now.
Yeah.
Because it's something they never considered possible. And
Yeah.
they really have to learn to get rid of their own reactivity in that moment.
Yeah. Let go of all their past issues.
Their fears have to be thrown out the window, otherwise, they are going to bomb. Yeah. So, when we're doing all that kind of stuff, was it as you expected it to be?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't really go in with a huge expectation. I knew you do things differently than what a lot of people will do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was about what I thought it would be. I liked how, I mean, you were drilling me on, even if we're in a more residential area with stuff going on, to make sure your dog still has freedom on the end of the leash and stuff like that. I think definitely myself and a lot of handlers tend to crank up on them and keep them tight in those moments to feel like you have more control, but you were really good at making sure we allowed the freedom in our dogs, and I think that's something different that I'll have to change for sure because I saw a huge difference. But yeah,
I think freedom ultimately is the biggest reward and punishment that we can give our dogs, taking freedom away or giving it to them.
yeah,
Because really, what is a cookie? They get fed twice a day anyway.
yep,
Whereas, give me freedom, that is the most important thing that dogs want. But it's something we rarely consider.
Totally. Yeah, the last 2 weeks have absolutely opened my mind to that for sure.
You train dogs, you rehab dogs. Were you doing similar type of stuff to this before or different?
Similar for sure. Yeah, definitely. If I have a board and train, I'm definitely not dealing with kind of the same intensity of dogs as you are, I think. But in a board and train, it's definitely the goal to have them walking around residential areas because that's the reality for a lot of pet owners.
Yep.
So I work on that a lot for sure.
Interesting. Having seen shadow program, but actually that may have nothing to do with this, but you saw me with 4 days with all of those reactive dogs where we made so very few corrections. This is where I think balanced trainers, well, I think most balanced trainers aren't actually balanced. So,
Yeah, I'd
and
agree with that.
that's the hard part to categorize trainers. Like, I'm not a positive reinforcement trainer because I don't think we used any food in the last 4 days training in boot camp. We used few corrections. I'm not sure I would fit in to be a balanced trainer, though probably that is the right category for me, but it's not with where the categories currently are.
Yeah.
So, what kind of trainers are we?
Yep, that's one that's I've thought about a lot. I heard someone describe it as positively balanced. Like, I don't know if I love that, but maybe that's a way to describe it. Right in the middle.
I think in this case, though, like I do so much more training of the people,
Yeah, life coach.
whereas, yeah, whereas other people are training the dogs. I think I'm training the people
Yeah.
and trying to increase the dog's quality of life
Yes.
and the people's. It's a hard one.
It
I don't
is.
know. I think we all need a new category.
Yes.
What pieces of this can you add into your own business, if any?
Yeah, a huge thing that I took away is your ability to communicate with the people.
Never thought anyone would say that about me. I'm a
But
good communicator.
it's like how you get your point across very clearly. And I think that's huge. I think I struggle with that in my business, and that's not necessarily something I would have said before I started. You just have a really clear way to get things across to people that's kind but firm, and it seems to click in people's heads. So I think that's huge. I think the way you communicate is something that I need to pick up on a little bit.
Thank you. I think try. Often I succeed. Sometimes I can be a sledgehammer, but then the lady that I was a sledgehammer with, I
Yeah.
kept increasing until she heard, which was sledgehammer level. Sorry, Chantel. But it was needed. Like, at least she heard me then. But it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard because not everyone is grateful for sledgehammer approach when needed. She
Yeah.
was.
Totally. I think even with the lady that I was helping out over the
Yes.
past 4 days, I I needed to be more firm with her, and that was really hard for me. That's something I really noticed. Like you were
Yes.
like, just poke her if she drifts, and I was like, I can't.
You were okay with her knocking you over to get away from the dog, but you couldn't poke her back and say, "Stay in your own lane, lady." Oh dear. Maybe you're nicer than me. Are there any other parts of this you'll add to your business?
Yeah, I love the whole boot camp in general. Like I love the 4 day intensive. I never even thought of that with the humans involved. I'd like to add that in a way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you do off-leash socials for reactive dogs?
Yes, I think I'm going to. I think I need my sheep first so I can practice because I think a lot of the skills will transfer from there.
It will.
Yeah, so I think I need sheep. I need to work my dog on the sheep, get really confident with it. And then I do have the space here. I'm very lucky to have lots of space to do that. And then also I live in an area with tons of wild areas I could utilize as well.
Nice. Good for you. There is such a demand for off leash socials for reactive dogs. They need it because
Yeah.
ultimately they learn so much from each other.
Yes.
And that showed this weekend, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing too that it's essentially the first thing we did at your building was let them off leash together after some time, but it was really amazing to watch you handle the whole situation, and the owners were just able to watch it unfold as well in a positive way.
Yeah. A big part of my boot camp is journaling for the people. And I'm making them, we did it a lot. It was probably a couple of times a day with homework going home that they were having to journal. Would you have thought it would have been more dog focused rather than a human focused?
Yeah, probably. I think it is a missing piece is like the people reflecting on themselves and working on themselves and not just the dog. So yeah, I didn't anticipate the journaling at all, and that was a huge piece for me. I think it's something I need to utilize in my own life. So yeah.
Journaling wise, we started out with they had to write down 3 things that they did each exercise that we did. And so initially they're coming up with 3 and they could barely come up with 3. And by the end, I'm going to say they could easily pound out 12. And I was forcing them to then get 15. But by the continued having to repeat again and again and again, all of what their handling jobs were, their technical jobs, it started becoming it easier and easier for them to do it. But even though they could say it, it still took 3 days for some people for them to be like, oh, that's what I'm writing down. You mean this walk in a straight line? Okay, got it.
Yeah, I found it so interesting to see how difficult it was for a lot of them to write it in a positive manner as well. Like they'd
Isn't
always,
that?
yeah, you're asking them to write something that they did well, and they'd write it negatively each time, which was
Yes.
so interesting.
Yeah. Did you like just looking at the people, their growth in that? Did you find that fascinating? Like their confidence grew so much with that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sandy and her rebellion of writing her things down. So funny. Did you enjoy Shadow Week or Boot Camp more?
Ooh, I think I enjoyed Shadow Week more in a way because I really got to pick your brain and everyone else's brain. Like the ladies were so wonderful, we all got along really well. But I think I probably took away more from boot camp.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. I think it drilled a lot of stuff into my head that maybe I probably heard in Shadow Week, but maybe skipped over. You know,
Yeah.
like it didn't stick.
Should I be making my shadow people journal?
Yes, I would have hated it though.
Interesting. I'm writing that down.
You can test it out on us in September.
For my next shadow, I'm doing boot camp with Shadow Week, whereas typically I do Shadow Week with a bravery seminar. I'm on the right path with that one, aren't I?
Yes.
I think so. Except I'm limited to certain times of the year that I'm able to do that with. And I think it does depend on the group because until you can actually have fun with your dogs, I can't help you with any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
But I think handling is so incredibly important. And that is boot camp. It's like learning to read a dog, learning to handle a dog, having soft feel on the leash, showing confidence just in your movement, your posture. But it is strictly pet dog stuff. There's not a sport overlap on it at all.
Yeah.
Very interesting. It's interesting you learn more at boot camp.
Yeah. I I learned so much from you communicating to the clients. And yeah, just hearing how you talk to them was huge.
Very interesting. Don't say names. You probably can because it's a very positive thing. Which handler improved the most?
Ooh. Sorry, I gotta go through them all in my head.
I am too.
I saw a big difference in the golden retriever, the young golden retriever.
Ah, ah.
Yeah, she seemed very relaxed by the end.
Mum or dog?
Both.
I agree because when she came into Bravery, do you remember how uptight Mum was in Bravery? Were
Yes.
you? Yeah,
It caught my eye.
yeah.
And I don't think it would have if I had come in at the end of boot camp.
Whereas at the end of boot camp, like the first day of boot camp, she's cracking jokes to people. That was the second day.
Yeah.
That poor woman's still probably standing on her lawn wondering what happened. Um, so she was causing trouble and mayhem in neighborhoods as of day 2. She was so funny. Whereas in Bravery, she was quite intense and uptight and a
Yeah.
bit quite negative
Yeah, I agree.
compared to being so funny afterwards.
Yeah.
So you're right. But I'm going to most improved handler for sure. You're right. Congratulations, Sandy. You did it. What dog improved the most then?
Hmm.
The Turves, the Porty, the Tibetan.
the the nervous turf I
Yeah.
on the last day was great.
Yeah.
Also, the big fluffy rescue one is sticking out in my
Yes.
mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I
Yeah,
agree. She
it
was an
was
interesting dog. I've never met her before.
okay. Yeah,
I have the client, but never the dog.
yeah,
So she was a complete unknown going into this and was not what I was expecting at all.
yeah. I'd say her transformation was less flashy than maybe the turf was,
Yeah.
but I did see some big changes for sure.
She went from being nice to hard and mean
Hmm.
to loose but a bit too curious.
Yeah, and I think her owner really over the 4 days understood her a whole lot better. I think it came in not knowing what her dog was, and by the end,
Had
did
her.
know. Yeah.
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 Interesting. I think one of the other ladies that I saw a huge improvement in her handling was our boxer lady.
Yes.
I felt like there was a big shift in her understanding of her dog.
Yeah.
Maybe not her understanding of her dog, but a big shift in her realization that she'd accomplished her hard work
Yeah, and
and
her
now
dog
it
is
was time to
different.
move on. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
totally.
that was interesting too. Did you see that dog take me out? The farmer's
No.
market. She
No, I
did.
did not.
She took me out.
Oh no.
It's all good. It was my own doing. Give her leash, give her leash. And then I'm flat. Oh dear. Oh, are there any of the dogs or handlers there that you would have done things differently with?
I don't know if at the beginning I would have put the nervous turf in there,
Okay.
but we did just say that she improved a lot. So obviously it worked, but I don't think that would have been my first plan for her.
In the building? Or are you thinking bravery?
Yeah, I guess it was bravery that she got thrown in and she melted down about it for sure. So yeah, I think that. start was probably too much for her.
Yep.
But as soon as we got her outside during boot camp, she was much
Even in
better.
my building in boot camp, though, she was good.
Was she?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't see.
We let her off very first.
Okay.
And she just trotted around. There was no penis tail, yes,
Yeah.
but just trotted around and sought out the other turf boy, and she was
Yes.
okay. In here, it was the first bravery. She wanted to kill herself
Yeah.
and leave.
Yes.
And then we brought her back in off leash and just let her. That was better for her in
Mhm.
bravery. Yeah. So with her, you wouldn't have necessarily done the bravery part.
Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe if it was flipped, like maybe if we did the boot camp first and then she did bravery after, it would have been much better for her. But
I agree. That dog needed it done in reverse. I
yeah,
totally agree. Sandy needed it in the order she had it,
yeah,
and Turv needed the opposite.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If only we could adjust schedules like that for the dog that needs it on that moment. Who is your favorite dog there?
Ooh, the little terrier.
Yeah.
He's a little spitfire. I love it.
Have you met a Tibetan Terrier before?
No, I'm talking about the Jack Russell.
Oh, him. Okay, okay, okay. He is wonderful, isn't he?
He is lovely.
He really is a naughty little monster
In the perfect way.
in the sometimes in the less perfect, but mostly in the perfect way. Yes. Yeah. Cool. And how do I ask this question? Whose handling did you admire of the people there?
The woman with the young boy Turf,
Yes,
she was great.
I had a tavern, Basil, that
Yeah.
I got IGP3 on, and he took me to Crufts. She bred him.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
That's Nicole. Nicole from Snectachy, Belgians. Yeah. She's a super handler. I also admired our Tibetan lady. I thought she was a super handler.
Yes.
She was so unreactive and clear in her thinking. She
Yeah,
could
and
just do it.
she's pretty green to dogs, right? Like she's not
Yes.
super. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to add?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything that I've been thinking about.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you. You
Yeah,
made it through on your own.
I did it.
You did it. You did it for a whole 37 minutes. Well done. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Yeah,
If
thank you for
people
having
want
me.
to get a hold of you up in the Comox Valley, how do they do that?
I have a website and a Facebook page. It's Two Peaks Pet Services, so all my information is there.
Super.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much for talking to me, Maria.
Yeah,
Thank you.
anytime.
Bye.
Bye.